Jesus said to them, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." Because you're watching a video devotional for Advent this year, my guess is you might also use social media, or at least know people who do. Our world is swimming in social media these days. All sorts of pictures and memes and videos offered to us daily in the palm of our hands. If we're paying attention, all these things might just tell us something about ourselves, about our needs and passions and yearnings, about what makes us thirst, about what we hunger for. The most powerful thing to me are those videos. Maybe that's the case for you as well. I'm amazed how a short video, 2 minutes out of our day, can be so impactful. I have a friend who, on multiple occasions, has had a rough day made right again by spending just 5 minutes watching adorable cat videos on her phone. It gives her just the joy she needs to reset her perspective. I know another friend who scrolls through video after video of people dancing and singing and playing, and instead of making him happy, it makes him wonder when he's going to find the space in his busy life to do some of that singing and dancing and playing again. There's no way between caring for the kids and working all those hours day after day after day. For him, these videos make him feel even more exhausted. So sometimes these things help, and other times they expose real pain. For my part, I have found myself gravitating to the videos of cooks and chefs, particularly bakers, all of whom create such beautiful things in their kitchen. For instance, as I watch with amazement the art of mixing simple things, just water and flour and salt and yeast, shaping it, giving it a little pat, letting it rest, and when it comes out of the oven, a beautiful brown masterpiece, a loaf of bread. I am often so excited that I can almost smell it, and there's something in me that is so very happy, grateful for the gift of such an everyday thing, this most mundane of foods, so lovingly prepared. Those are my favorite videos, the basic loaves of bread, but I love watching bakers make all the goodies, pastries and cakes and muffins, those gluten-free treats too. I was thinking about our video-filled lives while reading through these amazing stories in the middle of the Gospel according to John. To me, they can feel, as we're reading them, a bit like going from video to video, story to story, and the way that we're drawn into them might tell us something about ourselves, what we hunger for. Here in John, Jesus is out there among the people, healing and teaching and talking and engaging, and all of a sudden we get several little clips about bread. We start with Jesus and the disciples before a hungry multitude asking, "Where are we going to get bread for all these people to eat?" You might know that story. Jesus and the disciples and the crowd sit down and pray, and they eat just a little bread and some fish to share, and somehow, amazingly, all are satisfied, all are fed. Then we scroll up and there's another story. We see Jesus and the disciples, having left the multitude, now on a boat tossed to and fro. "Do not fear," says Jesus. And together they brave the rough waters, find calm seas, make it to the other shore. Seems to be unrelated, doesn't it? But John then shares this fascinating detail that while they were sailing, all these other people, those who had heard about that meal, the one where Jesus fed all those people after giving thanks for the bread, those people were now looking for him. They were on the other shoreline. They knew that Jesus had set sail. They must have seen the rough waves and the storm clouds over the waters. But so powerful was the testimony about this Jesus that they got into the boats and they also set sail on that lake through rough and stormy seas, braving a journey to seek after Jesus themselves. Then we scroll up again and we find Jesus talking about God and Moses and the wilderness and the time when the people were wandering and yearning and hungry. And God does what God does. God cares about our most basic needs. And God gave them bread, manna from heaven. Jesus explains that God gives the bread that gives life to the world. And the people reply, "Sir, give us this bread always." And that's when Jesus says, "I am the bread of life. Those who come to me will never be hungry. Those who believe in me will never thirst." Advent is a time of watching and waiting and hoping and yearning. For me, it is a time when I pay attention to my hunger, to what I'm yearning for, what is feeding me and what is not. There's something within us that only God can satisfy, a deep awareness that we are loved unconditionally, that we belong, that we are known and seen and cared for. For this, for us, God would come into this hungry and hurting world, an affirmation of God's powerful and committed love for us all. We are all waiting for that day. We call Jesus the bread of life because in Jesus our lasting hunger is satisfied and true life is found. This Advent, remember, the one about to be born is indeed the bread of life. Thanks be to God for this indescribable and amazing gift. Amen.